I've had over 100 calls with coaches and consultants since the start of 2024. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I've learned from them. All the emotions, the frustrations, the fears, and all the things that these coaches and consultants are working towards and what they're actually missing in their business to reach true success. With that being said, if you're a coach or consultant yourself, I actually have a free surprise for you at the end of the video. So stay tuned and I can't wait to share it with you soon. With that being said, here is exactly what I've learned throughout this process. So the number one biggest issue across the board has to be that they're facing inconsistent revenue. And it's a feast or famine cycle, right? And in most cases, it's a lot of famine. And what a surprise. Everyone wants to actually, generate more revenue consistently. They want more money in their bank. They want more clients. And everyone wants that, right? But many of the coaches, consultants I'm talking to, they're offering an hourly rate. Sometimes it's $50 an hour. Sometimes it's $125 an hour. Sometimes it's pricier than that, but they're having to work themselves to the bone to barely reach 4 to 5K per month. And if one of their big clients leave that they're working hourly for, maybe they have a big project for, then they're left out in the water. So this is the number one biggest issue that I've seen with talking with them, is that they don't have a way to generate revenue consistently. Now, number two, around 80% of them are extremely reliant on referrals. I was actually very surprised by this. They really have no way to generate revenue on demand. They're going out there and it shows they have, great service to them for the most part if they're getting referrals. But as we'll talk about here in a moment, some of the referrals they're actually getting are not of the highest quality. And it's a different company here, a different company there. And they really have no way, like I was saying earlier, to generate revenue on demand. They are waiting for the people who are bringing them referrals to continue to bring them referrals. And there might even be some fear that they aren't going to bring them referrals this month or the next month. And it pretty much puts you in an interesting scenario to where it was like this when I was in corporate, right? Like you're getting paid by somebody else. You're making your livelihood based off of somebody else bringing you business or not bringing you business. And it's a pretty stressful place to be. So I was very surprised to see that this was a very, very high percentage, around 80% or more people, coaches, consultants, they're just extremely reliant on referrals to grow a new business. And it's, from my experience, it's great to get referrals, but it's not a way to actually grow and scale your business. Now, I'd say around 50% as well, they aren't serving a specific avatar or niche, right? And so a big part of this is because they're actually so reliant on referrals, right? They're just taking what they can get. Some client brings them a software company that they can help do their finances for. Great. Some client brings them or some contact brings them a marketing company that can help with the finances. Great. But the thing is, this leads to each engagement being custom. All these companies are not alike. Even if you're serving a consultant, for example, a consultant making $5,000 per month and one making $50,000 per month have entirely different issues. So when you start to talk about entirely different companies, let alone different revenue ranges, it becomes very difficult to offer them a unique and transformational service. And because each client is different, most of these coaches, consultants, they're swamped. They're overwhelmed. They're doing some, social media here for one client. They're building out and editing a video for another client over here. They're managing a community for another client over here. And they have no system and no way to actually scale and continue to generate revenue, let alone any consistent revenue, because each client they're serving is just an entirely different person. And so because they have all these different service delivery types, for each type of client, it ends up to them having to work hourly, right? They're having those hourly engagements. They don't have a transformational offer they can actually provide, one that's high value and has a clear start, a clear finish that they can scale and repeat and get better results for. And every engagement is different and unsystematic. This is a really big issue. Number 4, so they don't have sales systems established to generate revenue on demand, right? And this is probably one of the biggest that I've seen. It definitely comes back to actually solving the issue of having inconsistent revenue, but none of them that I really talk to, some of course do, but most of them that I talk to, they don't really have an established sales system. And even worse, they're putting the cart before the horse, right? They're going into a state where they just want more meetings. They want more calls with clients. But because they don't have that clear niche, that avatar, or a high ticket transformational offer that's, it's unique and it has a clear start, a clear end, and it provides a transformation. Well, because of that, their outreach and content systems, if they are doing them, they aren't speaking to any specific major pains that a certain niche or avatar is dealing with, they aren't following any repeatable system or structure. They're just having a conversation, say, hey, I like your dog. Hey, what are your thoughts on AI? Right? Every single conversation is a bit different. They're not going anywhere in the right direction, and they especially aren't going through a pre-qualification process before they book a call with a prospect. And because of that, the meetings they actually do book are completely unqualified, which equals wasted time. They're hopping on these meetings. Maybe if they are generating some, maybe it's a networking call, maybe it's a partner call, and they feel great because they booked a meeting, but it's not actually a meeting that's going to turn into business. And they know that, but they don't have a system to actually generate these meetings on demand. And, coming from myself, I know all these issues firsthand. Heck, I used to actually deal with them myself, right? And after getting on 100 calls with coaches, consultants, collecting their feedback, and crafting a solution to directly solve these issues above, I feel pretty confident in solving these issues for you. And this is actually how I helped my client, Jared, secure 3 ideal contracts in just 30 days. And if you'd like to stop facing these issues above and start generating consistent revenue on demand, comment DSR down below on this LinkedIn post. Or if you're shy, feel free to DM it to me. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to be posting this on YouTube as well. Go ahead and I'll have my LinkedIn down in the link below. You can click on that, send me a connection request, send me DSR, and I'll go ahead. And what I'll do is I'll send you a custom digital sales room, giving you an exact guide on how to solve these problems for free. These are the biggest issues they're dealing with. So if you don't want to waste, another 3 months of your life, another 6 months of your life going through and struggling with these same issues that I already have a solution for, go ahead again, comment DSR down below, or send me a DM DSR if you're feeling a little bit shy. That being said, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Stay consistent.